Got a white tee too big for the jacket.
Man, I'm straight. But I mean, you know, your buddy over there, he seemed pretty upset. Sound like y'all might have been arguing or something.
Nah, buddy.
Nah, buddy.
Came over here just talking crazy.
Excuse me, are you getting smart with me?
Smart with you? No, sir.
You can hear it in our voices. We couldn't take those just
Not take this shit
with
serious
you
at all.
Am I funny to you?
boy.
Boy?
Officer Wilson.
Wilson.
Y'all really call me Wilson.
Better not be getting
Wilson.
smart
He ain't had
with
no
me,
name
boy.
tag on.
Hey. What, man? I'm working.
Hey, Mike, ain't that your old security jacket?
Back up off him.
It is. Isn't it you and Charles security jacket? Charles, Mike and Charles used to be security. Who? Where?
That was good acting, Kyle.
Oh, you see me step in the back, start smoking a cigarette before I kill somebody.
Yo, shut up. My man Einstein Albert, bro.
That's his real name.
Greatest name ever.
Bro,
I already
Einstein was
told y'all,
cool, man.
I don't know that, man. I don't
He
know.
got Kyle up out of
I don't
there.
know what
Enough!
he's mad about.
Bullshit. You and I both know
He
that
better
you
get
know
Kyle
that
fuck
man.
up out of here.
Now listen, you either gonna be straight with us or you gonna keep on lying to us.
Enough!
Kyle, you had a thought
Man,
cut?
what? Go! Now.
Yeah.
Enough now. Get your ass out of
That was
here,
some shit.
Officer Wilson.
All right. Let's keep
No, that was a good scene.
Fuck nigga.
That was fun.
I might
man.
actually be interested in watching props.
Watch season
That was
1
fun,
and 2.
man.
Season one is actually gonna have you like, bro, what the? Y'all were on some It's gonna throw you through. It's gonna throw you through some loops.
Like they really had.
It was a great show.
It was great because they really did have they had the
'Cause
same
I
storyline, but it had different subsections.
I was
Boy, if
just
we had
looking
a
at the
budget
part
to
where
pay niggas,
when we was at, remember when we did at the art gallery when you and What's the Face had that date night at the art gallery?
Oh yeah.
that was
Yo, that art gallery was
that. All right. Now that was a crazy scene because that was no, not that scene. I'm talking about the episode before when y'all had y'all little date night.
Right. No, the date night was the date night was before. The
So
flight.
that was the scene that he kept hitting everybody about. He kept hitting everybody in the chat. Was like, "Yo, this is the scene, bro. Everybody gonna see." And he kept saying that back though. And I'm like, bro, what? Why does he keep saying this, bro?
And
This
then we
man
saw-
had the
I'ma
first
show you after the episode.
semi sex
All right.
scene of the series.
Right. Because that back.
And he was
out.
working
Having a
out
little
and
sex
training
scene.
specifically for it. Again, he's the director. He knows where all of this shit is going. You plotting ass bastard, bro.
the first.
I had to
scene.
wait until
How do I look?
season 2 to get my good looking shot, and that was all it was. I got all the best hood nigga like shots. There's a couple shots of me in like
Them
ski
dresses all
mask
fleeked up.
with my locks coming out the ski mask. You know what I'm saying?
Do I have time to get one more before we start?
Yeah, we've already started.
Have we already started?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we've been on camera. Shit.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Woah Chill Wednesday. I would have cursed, but YouTube is going crazy right now. So let's try to be mindful of our cursing. It's going to take a couple episodes.
I'll just be quiet.
Hey, man, don't worry about it. YouTube, your day is coming. Your day is coming. We just got here, but trust me, your day is coming if you asking
Here
me.
is what I'll do. Colin, Kai, put some bleeps over this, okay?
Oh Lord, have mercy.
All right, it's all out.
Okay.
Just like that. Fuck you.
So how you feel about your ex? It's like, nah. You're
You
cool.
see him outside?
You, I'm out.
Who's coming with me, man?
Fam, you don't do the gestures either. That's still just as bad.
That's
I'll pay.
YouTube said you said bang bang, no money.
Let me tell you something.
Back-to-back weeks.
I
She
will
done
put
offered
up my beautiful Jeep Wrangler
Wow, as collateral.
as collab.
Why she looking at the camera?
If you see that man anywhere.
We don't know.
I don't know this man.
I don't know.
I'm not allowed to say the rest.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I do not know this man.
I don't know. I do not know this
How
man
when
at
They
all.
put me in the interrogation
I've never
room.
seen this man a single day in my life.
Sorry to that man.
Sorry.
Chloe Bailey, man.
Chloe needs to calm the fuck down.
But she has calmed down.
What happened now?
She has calmed
What
down.
has she done?
What did she do?
I think Chloe is really, really, really sexy when she doesn't try. And when she tries,
So,
It's funny as hell.
So
it's a
That's
bit
the thing.
cringy.
I feel like she's
But I'm not
trying
allowed to
really
say that.
hard. She's trying really hard to like make an image for herself, but she has an image already.
Exactly. You already have when you're just being you, it's beautiful.
And by all means, like, you're welcome to do whatever you want with your appearance. I understand, like, you know, she's an artist, but like, I just wish she would realize the dreads is what makes her
the
fucking
locks.
fire.
I think there's a bit of a
That makes her fire. I'm still cursing.
something a little problematic comes in with that, because as that is an opinion that of course you are allowed to have, there's something that a little problematic comes in with that, because it's like we're kind of telling her, we only find you successful in this box.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Because you're giving the
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Although you're giving the caveat, oh, of course, as a woman you can do X, Y, and Z. Then when you do the but, and you know, my mother always says, if you do a sentence and put but, everything you said before the but means nothing.
Absolutely.
It means nothing.
And that's why my original sentence, y'all play it back for me. I don't know. I don't believe I put a but. Chloe, you are beautiful when you are not overdoing it. When you're overdoing it, it comes out as forced, unnatural, and it just does not feel. Yeah. It's not easily digestible for me as a consumer of your content.
Yeah.
As a person who does and has paid for her content and bought her music, and I follow you on social media, yeah, and I was one of the people early on that was like, yo, the oldest one is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
But again, I think you're still saying that for you, as you personally, as a consumer of her, and
because I'm the only person I could speak for.
Right. Of course.
I'm not speaking for everybody else. This is just my opinion.
I can speak for me too. That video with the lollipop, I was like, I see what you're going for, but girl,
it already is all fine if that's what you want to do. If that's what your prerogative states, it already is all fine. But the thing for me is that ultimately, and sorry not sorry, the music isn't hitting.
Yeah.
The music isn't hitting.
I wouldn't say that, bro. Hold on, man. Go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
Let him land.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just, it really isn't. Like,
No. The music is moving. It's not matching the caliber of artists that we envision from her. We're expecting this shit to like skyrocket. We're thinking she's gonna be in the forefront of everything, and she's surfacing. We getting
she is bubbling under the surface.
She's moving, but
Have Mercy did well.
What's well?
Treat Me
What's
did well.
What's well? What is well?
Those songs are doing well. They're getting played. They're getting placements.
Where are they getting played at? And where are they getting?
Radio. They're getting Treat Me gets played a lot when people are doing dance videos and things of that nature.
So you're saying they have
it's getting played outside as well.
They have
Treat
social
Me was
commentary.
viral on TikTok too.
They have social commentary, but what are those? What are across the Billboard charts? What is that looking like?
That I would have to look up. But
Right.
Surprise is, in my opinion, Surprise is a really good song. I was on her Instagram live when she premiered 3 songs, and Surprise was one of the songs that I was like, no, because she was like, you guys take a vote. Whichever song you guys like the most is what I'm gonna release.
You know what it is, Colin?
Blowing smoke all in the shot.
Her and
I'm
her
gonna beat
sister.
you.
Her and her sister, especially her, but both of them, they were very well developed as artists from a young age. Usually when you see an artist come out, you see like the artist development happen before your eyes. But I feel like because her and Halle were like developed at a young age, they came out like, bruh, they're media trained, image is right, vocals is on point, choreography is on point. Like there's nothing left. Well, there's always something to do. But there's like, you know, they're doing well as an artist. So I think what Keith is trying to say, the music, granted, is doing well. It's not at its peak the way she is as an actual person.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can understand that, and I would.
She
but
is
I would.
rising above. She
Her
is
music.
moving forward before her music.
But I
Which
think
is
that's
why
perfect.
I think that, which is why I think that when Halle finally releases music, hers is gonna go further than Chloe's, because we're getting Halle. Because for instance, we're gonna get Halle's Little Mermaid and The Color Purple before we get her music.
But that's kind of the same thing as Halle is becoming more of a personality than as a musician. It's the same thing. Because we're going to get her Little Mermaid, and there's going to be a select amount of people, or a large amount of people who are going to know her for being the Little Mermaid instead of being Halle from Chloe and Halle.
That's not always a bad thing, though.
I know it's not.
But here's the thing. Here's where I disagree. I think Halle, because what you're saying is that they're going to associate that character over her as a person. I think Halle
Over her as an artist.
both person and artist.
Mm-hmm.
I think Halle is good enough, and when the Color Purple and when the Little Mermaid comes out and the Color Purple comes out, I think what
She
we're
in the
gonna
Color Purple too?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think what
Halle
we're gonna
getting
see
that paper.
is that people are gonna associate her as a phenomenal actress.
Mm-hmm.
Not just a personality. I don't think they're gonna associate her as just Little Mermaid. I think they're gonna say this is a great actress. who is now about to put out good
versus
music.
a personality who makes great music.
Because you know who's a personality? Like, here's the thing. You know who's a personality? Cardi B was a personality before she was an artist. That's not what's gonna happen to Halle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no, I mean, but at the same time, Cardi didn't try to, when Cardi became an artist, she didn't try to become Halle. She didn't try to become your
She was still being
Southern
herself.
sweetheart, your Southern belle. She was still herself. So if you stay as the Southern belle, you can still be a sexy Southern belle. Take Duchess from Black Ink. Duchess really pushed forward, I am the Southern sweetheart, the Southern belle, whether she was or whether she's not, that's up to you. But Duchess was incredibly sexy just being herself. Then when she released her own, like, she started diving more into her sexuality in terms of like dancing and things of that nature. Okay, I'm sorry, it looked a little bit better. But like, Chloe can dance. She could do her thing. I think if we see less of her, and y'all already know how I talk on this type of topic, Bria Miles, Bernice Burgos, there's a reason why they are, Melissa Ford, there are reasons why those women were on top in their respective like genres, I guess.
Melissa's
and why
a
they were
legend.
able to push their sexuality over a lot of other women is because you didn't hear them speak about a lot of shit.
Yeah.
When we start to hear you,
But again,
and it's fucked up, but it is what it is. When we start to hear you, things get different. Now people are judging your actual opinion.
right. But I do still believe that is just saying that, like, that is saying, in order for you to be successful, we need to just see you. We don't need to know how smart you are.
100%, yeah.
But I think that is not. I think that we need to, as a society, move out of that, because women
Yeah,
have
but if we're
women
speaking
have
in
a
regards to what
duality
sells, though, Keith, it is true.
Here's the thing. What sells depending on the person. That's all I'm saying. Because you can be both. You can be an intelligent
But that's not what
person.
she's going for. She's going for a massive audience. And when you're going for a massive audience, this is just something that you're going to have to deal with, whether it's the way the world should be, which you're correct.
Yeah.
We should be able to sit here and listen to these women and do X, Y, and Z. Hell, Melissa Ford is now a member of the Joe Budden podcast. And there are some people who really like her on the podcast. I think
Yeah.
she's great on the podcast. There's some people who now
was good on
hate the
Hollywood
fact
Unlocked.
that she's on the podcast. Mm-hmm. I prefer her much over Queen's Flip, who's also now on the podcast.
Right.
But Bernice got to where the freak she's at because you don't hear Bernice's voice.
Yeah.
We talked about it before. Bria Miles, anytime she opens up her mouth, especially if it's a topic about black women, people start saying, yo, didn't you marry a white dude? And the conversation starts to twist and turn. Mm-hmm. And that's what happens when you're in a large pond. Well, you're not even in a pond at that point. When you're out in the media ocean.
At that point.
You're in the media ocean. You're not even in a pond no more.
And here's the thing. While I get that, I do still believe that does not mean that if you have thought about and know what to say. Because now I do think deservingly there are people who have shared their opinions on shit who should not be speaking. Should not be speaking. Sex appeal or no sex appeal.
a lot of people.
Micah Parsons, shut the fuck up.
Like, sex appeal or no
Micah
sex
Parsons,
appeal.
shut the fuck up.
But if you actually have an opinion that adds to the conversation, and granted, now yes, people will say that you need to stick in this box, but you can never, you can't ever take away the fact that somebody has an actual, if they have an actual opinion and the statement makes sense.
It's giving Kevin Samuels.
It does.
Right.
However, I think it's more
You will
effective
listen
if you speak selectively. So if Chloe did what she was doing selectively if it wasn't as often, which is right now, which is what I feel like she's doing right now. She's not posting as much. She's not she's not going live as much. She's not doing certain things as often as she once did. So if you do it every now and then and leave it as a treat, that's perfectly fine because you're already a polarizing figure. Like Shabika said earlier, you are mentored by Beyonce. You're Parkwood.
That's a big fucking deal.
That's a huge fucking deal.
100%.
We could have never ever heard these girls talk ever. And you know what? I think that would have added to the mystery of who they were. And I think that would have pushed them a little bit further than saying, you know what? Let's actually put you in the front of everything that's going on. And I've met Chloe in real life, and she's such a nice, warm, polite, just a joyous person to be around. Bro, we had a freaking blast with her in the studio.
You know what falls into what you're saying too, Colin? You know who spoke about that too? Her. She spoke about what was her reason for keeping on the glasses when she first came out. Now we know what she looked like, but she wanted the talent to speak for herself. That mystery.
When you keep that mystery behind you, people are really trying to dig in that. When people find out, oh, that was Gabby Williams that was on Dr. Phil or wherever, or Oprah or whatever show she was on when she was a kid, it pushed her even further. And now it's like people want more of you, but they can't find that. So they're gonna keep digging and keep digging and keep digging and keep digging.
And in this society with social media and everything, when we keep digging, they're gonna dig to negative. You get what I'm saying? When you can't find anything wrong, then they're like, oh, she's showing too much ass. She being
but
too
you
sexy.
Parkwood.
She's sucking a lollipop.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
there
mean?
go.
So
But that's my thing. You are damned if you do. You are damned if you don't.
Nah, you're not damned if you don't. Not
Right.
if you're freaking Parkwood. Because you know what? If I'm Parkwood, y'all can only find what I want you to find. Because I have the machine behind me to literally structure this world that you only find what I want you to find.
But my thing is when
Beyonce.
I say you're, but I think, but the, when
I've
I say
got
you-
the
when
engine
I
behind
say
me.
You're damned
Beyonce.
if you don't. Is that you do realize that Beyonce strategically does, but she does always give an opinion on worldly things. It is strategic. What I'm saying is like they can't always be quiet.
No.
They have to actually like that's what I'm saying is that if you are going to do the opinion, make it strategic. Make it something that adds to the conversation. Don't just say shit just to say shit. That's when like, okay, fuck you, shut up, and just.
honestly, I feel like Beyonce is like the perfect example for this topic because like she's a phenomenal artist. Like that's not even a question. But I feel like a big part of what makes Beyonce like so desirable is the lack of what. Remember I spoke about this before? I was like, yo, we don't get no interviews, nothing. Like I feel like that's what makes her such a big deal. Like Jay-Z is outside more than Beyonce. Like you see Jay-Z be at events.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
We
like,
got that from Beyonce before.
But neither one of them talk in front of a phone. There's a difference between making a social commentary and a culture, or making a cultural commentary in a strategic way, or whatever you're doing. There's a difference between doing that and putting your phone in front of your face and because this whole conversation has nothing to do with Chloe Bailey making comments on the world. If Chloe Bailey wants to make comments on the world, make a comment on the world.
by all
Do what you want.
means.
I'm talking about her showing her face and being personable too often. You can show too much of who you actually are. And then, yeah, sometimes the thirst traps is what I should say. When she was posting the thirst traps that were just like pictures of her, even if they were selfies, if she's just at home taking a little cute selfie, those were cool. Do that every now and then. Rihanna does not post 4 or 5 times a year.
Facts.
Well, I'm sorry, Rihanna only posts 4 or 5 times a year. When Rihanna gets a post, we on that.
Facts.
We are on
Viral.
it.
Everybody
She
will post
posted
that shit.
about 2 weeks ago. You seen it? You seen it?
Yep.
You seen it?
we are.
She
on
gave us
that.
back-to-back week posts.
We are on that with Rihanna, who she is now. Chloe is in the beginning of whatever it is that she's trying to do.
But that's what I'm
She
saying
is
though,
in the
Keith.
beginning of, but again, in the very beginning, Honda replay days, Instagram, there was Twitter, Facebook. Instagram wasn't really there like that, and Twitter was at its infancy too. But in the Ponder Replay days, Rihanna was everywhere. She was at every TRL. She was at every BET. She was at every interview she could do. She was at every award show. That is Instagram Live now. That is being on social media now. So now Rihanna doesn't have to do that because she did all that when she was 16 during the Ponder Replay days. Chloe has to do that.
No, she doesn't. Because she Parkwood. And weren't they on Disney Channel when they were younger? What were they on? Nickelodeon. They were on something when they were
YouTube people.
They were on you. Okay, so they were on YouTube. You come out with Beyonce. I'm talking past. You have Supreme Beyonce. I'm not talking about you Goku in Dragon Ball, like the early Dragon Ball when he was fighting Frieza. You got Goku when this motherfucker is pulling spirit bombs in the middle of the Cell Saga. You got Goku at his prime when everybody knows exactly who Goku is and what he does. And you got the youngest ones coming up and everybody knows it. This is a lot different than Rihanna being the first, not the first, but being the newest woman to come out of not Rockefeller, but Rock Nation, a budding young subsidiary of Rockefeller. You've got Beyonce's. This is Beyonce's
only
baby.
Two talents, right?
This is her baby right here, and we know what Beyonce does
For herself.
So I don't think you need the TRL. You don't need the.
Keep in mind when you say, like you keep mentioning, like, bruh, they got Parkwood, and I don't think people realize like Beyonce is such a big entity that like the things that Rihanna may have had to do back in the day, or even Beyonce had to do back in the day to get into rooms like Met Gala and shit like you don't get invited to that stuff like that, but Parkwood does.
Yeah,
Parkwood
they
does.
begging. Who you guys got? Got anybody new this year?
Parkwood does.
Send them down.
Chloe don't gotta drop a song for 5 years. Parkwood does.
I would encourage her to
Parkwood is
not
getting
release
in
shit
there.
for 5 years.
She's gonna be at Rock Nation. She's gonna be at the Grammys. She's gonna be at what's the shit? Met Gala. She's gonna be everywhere.
Chloe should have pulled a Frank Ocean on God.
They got the golden pass.
You know what y'all all said? The golden pass to go to industry things, industry events. Y'all can be because you're Parkwood, you're there. Yes, we'll go to these industry things. We'll go to these industry events. Of course, you get this invitation. Yes, come on. You're with Beyonce. Yes, to these industry things and these industry events. But are y'all still buying the music?
Keith, let's be clear. And I feel like you know this already, but I know for sure me and Colin know this. A lot of the music that's booming is not booming because niggas actually is rocking with the song. Networking in music is so big. When a label, a radio station, an executive decides they're gonna push your song is getting pushed. So when we say Parkwood gets into these rooms, it's very important to be in those rooms because Chloe could drop an ass song, and if I don't know who she signed to, but if Atlantic say they pushing that song and they drop that shit off at iHeart,
That song is getting streamed.
It's running
220 million times versus my radio, ass song
3,000 times
that dropped on the Juice album. That only streamed about 1,200 times in a 10-year span. You know, it's different. It's different.
That networking. That's what we're saying. Like that Parkwood on your name is bigger than people.
On top of them already having a name that they built themselves as youth.
But my thing is that we're still not necessarily hitting on is that you both have still said that Chloe clearly apparently still needs to do something different to be more successful. So again, the Parkwood thing clearly isn't pushing you two because you both have said that Chloe there's something she still needs to do
to be organically successful.
But it did push me because one of the reason why I even paid attention to them in the first place was, oh snap, I do remember there being two sets of young black women, sisters, who were doing really big things on YouTube back in the day. Chloe and Halle is one. Van Jess was another. I lean more towards the Van Jess side to this day. I'm huge fans of those two sisters. There's another set that went to freaking Beyonce. That's why I paid attention to them.
Yeah.
And then we're like, all right, so slowly they start releasing music, but they're not giving us too much. They're teaching them how to be artists. They're teaching them not how to just be artists, how to be superstars. There's a reason why we're only getting a little bit at a time, little bit at a time, little bit. Then out of the clear blue sky, we start seeing a lot of Chloe on her own. Now they're starting to grow up and they're branching into their individual aspects of life. Mm-hmm. Cool. I like the way that Hallie's doing hers better than I like the way that Chloe's doing hers. And I like the way Chloe's doing hers. I just think it needs to be altered a little bit. And more in the way she's been doing it more recently, I think it's perfect. She's giving us enough, but not too much. Okay. All right. So, moving on then.
Tate.
Oh, Jesus, man. And more social media topics. All right. Let me try to pull up some stuff. Does everybody know what's going on with this? Does everybody know who Andrew Tate is?
So give us a synopsis to.
Andrew Tate is a former kickboxer. Allegedly self-admittedly that he did not make too much money in the kickboxing world. And then he went into some other ventures of business. Eventually he became this misogynist personality. A misogynistic personality who does give off homosexual vibes. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna lie, that boy flamboyant. There's some sugar in the tank. There's some sugar in the tank.
It's some hyper masculinity and outward.
That's offensive.
We'll talk about why that's offensive in a little bit.
Is it because you could die if somebody put sugar in your tank?
No.
I mean, you can teach it. These are teachable moments, yo. Educate me, please. Why is that?
Saying somebody has sugar in the tank, it automatically leads to them thinking that person is extra flamboyant and that's why they're gay.
Okay.
I see what you mean.
Right. Like,
but at the same, okay, I get what you mean. So I got to find somewhere else to say he's flamboyant as hell.
Just say that. You can just say that.
Okay, he's flamboyant as hell.
Because flamboyant doesn't necessarily mean
his he has flamboyant mannerisms. You're right.
I personally, as a member of the Alphabet Mafia, believe that man is homosexual.
The Alphabet Mafia.
And you're not, and you're flamboyant, I guess, in your style, not in your mannerisms.
To an extent.
You had to tell me that you were
that's
gay.
Why that's why there's a spectrum. The spectrum exists for a reason. I'm in the middle, I would honestly say, when it comes to the masculinity and feminine spectrum. I sit in the middle, depending on how I'm feeling during the day.
Well, I met Aeropostale Keith, so he that was a little different.
You did meet Aeropostale.
So he like somewhere on the spectrum where it's there scene, ain't nobody bending me over.
He's closer to me.
So you doing the bending?
He's closer to the feminine side, which is why he does what he does. So.
Okay. All right.
So Andrew Tate created his own, I guess, university for guys who want to pretty much be a player or want to have control over women. And with that, he himself has been arrested for human trafficking and forcing women to engage in webcams and things of that nature to bring in money. So he's pimping these women. He's trafficking these women. He has self-admittedly, and there are screenshots of text messages and reports of text messages in which he's acknowledging the fact that he's women he would bring in, target, as his bodyguard would say, quote unquote, young and dumb women. So he would target these weaker minded women, bring them in, treat them as his girlfriend, then slowly but surely start doing weird or just different things. So out of the clear blue sky, he might just literally steal off on shorty and then go take a shower, come back, and then he's acting completely normal as if everything is perfectly fine, as if what he just didn't occur. So now you're twisting somebody's mind to say, wait, did that even just happen? Right. Or if it did happen, this might actually be normal. He literally has text messages where you see he's like, yeah, but like, I can't wait to I can't wait to and please bleep the word that word out. Damn. And this shit gets incredibly deep.
Textbook narcissist.
Yep.
he's a legitimate narcissist and a manipulator because
Mm-hmm.
if you've ever looked at even in the text message or the women we've seen him with, none of them are over the age of 23. Really,
I didn't know that.
none of them.
But again,
When you look,
the bodyguard
when
said
you
young
actually
and
look
dumb.
at it, none of them are 25 and up. Because according to him, they're too opinionated.
Mm-hmm.
They're too opinionated. They have too much to say. They will fight him on everything he says, and he doesn't like that.
I wonder why.
He cannot stand and act not just a woman. Anybody who goes against his ideals of how life should be, relationship should be, he can't stand that at all.
Vice did a really nice profile where they actually sat with him and they went to where he was. Where was he? Romania?
I think so.
Somewhere. He's out somewhere in Eastern Europe or something of the sort, because he can't practice what he's trying to practice here in America. He's not Eastern Europe. Wherever he was, that's not his country of origin. I believe he's of U.S. and of British descent. So he's out there doing whatever the hell he's doing. I just fucking lost where the fuck I was going with that. But he's fucking out there doing whatever he's doing. Vice. Vice goes out there and they sit with him. And they're going through and they're giving him a chance, or they're attempting to give him a chance to show what it is that he's doing. And you see the control aspect of certain things where it's like, sir, you're an idiot. When it comes to the sit down interviews, when they're asking him the hard questions, okay, well, what about you not allowing certain women to speak? Or what about us asking people questions and you cutting them off and you steering conversation that we're directing with people that you have here working with you, man or woman, right in front of the camera? You have the arrogance and the audacity to stand here and direct people's conversation, to not allow certain people to ask certain questions, to move along the camera crew and move along the viewer as they are attempting to ask your employees questions while you allow these people to come into your space. And now when they ask the hard questions, that's when he starts to get offensive or get offended. Mm-hmm. And he has another assistant there who's also speaking and saying, well, it seems like you guys are painting a narrative. No, dickhead. You literally brought these people into the space and showed them exactly what you're doing without showing it. Basically. Because you gave them the access to do it all.
Yeah.
Now when they're asking you questions about your own actions, you clam the fuck up. Dare I say, Andrew Tate, you're a fucking bitch. And no, we not bleeping that shit out.
Retweet.
We on your head. People like you, I have no respect for. And Kai, our producer J45, aka Kai, did not have too much background on the subject. So he asked if this was something similar to a Kevin Samuels. And I said, no, we're not going to fucking level the two. And let it be known, none of y'all should ever level the two. Kevin Samuels may have been misogynistic if you're taking a look at just some short videos. But if you were to actually take a look and see, Kevin Samuels was rude.
Word.
Yeah.
He was blunt.
He gave everybody a shot.
He was over the top, but he was fair.
He gave everybody a shot. And
he gave men the same energy he gave to women. So he's not a misogynist.
He was on bullshit. That's when he started going off, and then that's when you see the clip. It's kind of like one of those things where, like, you know, everybody just sees the reaction. Nobody asks how you were provoked or something like that.
But
it's like the same thing
about Kevin Samuels.
Hang on. Let me just finish this last part about the comparing the two. Mm-hmm. Kevin Samuels has never been charged with human trafficking. Kevin Samuels did not have a network of women working for him and paying him money to go ahead and solicit sex via webcam or physically. Do not compare the two. I will not compare the two, nor will I allow any other black man who is not of that type of cloth to be compared with that animal. It's not happening.
I agree.
Here's just my thing about Kevin Samuels, and it comes to what you both were saying, our producer and Colin, about the fact that he gave them a chance, like men and women a chance. But he would, as you said, go off if he felt like somebody was discussing something that he didn't necessarily agree with. Mm-hmm. He would go, but from what I saw and some of the things that I watched, he would go off on things that were legit just a personal thought from him. Yeah. And what I mean by that is that if we all said this table was clear, but in his mind, for no matter what reason he believed it was wood, he would go off without proof or logic to say, oh no, the table is wood and I just believe it's wood, so fuck y'all.
I beg to differ. I feel like with Kevin, what he would be saying, for the most part, and as a woman, I'm gonna honestly say like 95% was accurate shit. The thing is, it's not ideal to just like, you cannot say whatever the fuck you want to say to people. That's just life.
Correct.
Word.
You get what I'm saying? So like Colin said, I think you hit it on the head. He was rude.
Yeah.
But he wasn't wrong.
Listen.
This man Kevin Samuels, he be over here. He'll have a dude on his live talking to somebody, whatever. He'd be like, and the dude start out, man, these women, da 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 da, and then Kevin just hold up, player. How much money you make a year?
How much you weigh? What's your height?
It-
So you
But
short?
that,
I mean-
okay,
Do you have a big
but
dick?
That,
Do you have
but
a big
see
dick?
But see, here's the thing.
Keith, do not
that,
answer that question, please.
okay.
Continue.
But see, that is where the issue is. He compared you being able to have a legitimate opinion based off of your height, weight, financial situation.
But we need some of that in this world. Some people need some humbling in this world. I'm sorry, you got it.
While you do,
Y'all, if y'all don't like Kevin Samuels, don't come to Thanksgiving at my fucking house, cause y'all can't sit in a room with my father. If y'all can't stand Kevin Samuels, there's no way in hell
You know my father
can
agree
sit
with
in
that nigga. You know my father agree with that.
Because-
bruh, if only I had the bomb right now for Pops.
because
Let me see if I got one of those.
if we are going off of Kevin Samuels' thought process of why some of those men should not have an opinion, or why he went so hard at them about their opinion, Kevin Samuels shouldn't have a show. If he is talking about these same men, whether it be height, weight, looks, if Kevin Samuel wants to say somebody can't say or do something because of the way they or he did say something about the way they look.
He did die with a
Kevin
woman or
Samuels-
two by his side. You know?
But I'll admit though, Keith, I've even heard. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said,
he's a good-looking guy.
He's rude
To
as
who?
hell. No, not even that. Not even that.
He's well put
He's
together.
an eligible bachelor, but not even that. I mean, not even that. I've actually heard
Keith,
Kevin
don't do
say, "Huh."
Go ahead.
I've actually heard Kevin say, like, somebody said, "Well, you think that?" And he said, "No." He said no. Like, he said, I would not fall in the caliber of guy for that type of woman. Like, he doesn't exclude himself. So that's what I'm saying. I could take an opinion from somebody who could put it on themselves too. You get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I could walk in a room. I don't have to say, Colin, I don't like your shoes. Like, I can keep that to myself. That's rude. But that doesn't mean I don't like your shoes.
You said you like these shoes. You said you were with me when I bought them.
But no, I'm just saying, like, you get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I feel like, yes, the comments that he made, it's probably not ideal, like 100% for everybody in the world, but majority rules. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Dude,
and if majority of women would not preference a broke nigga. Majority of niggas do not preference a female with 6 kids and no job or a funny body.
He would tell them that they weren't worth dating. That's the thing.
No.
He would say deserving.
I feel so bad because I'm a woman defending this.
He would say you're not deserving of what you are asking. So you in your stature, and we're not going to put all of your stats out there.
We can.
But you, okay,
We can.
you Keith, though you do what you lack in height, you pack in the punch. Allegedly, according to my co-host. Actually, it's unfortunate because somebody turned their damn phone. So unfortunately, I had to see this shit. And I really prided myself on not seeing none of my homeboys before. But unfortunately, because my co-hosts don't care about me or my own mental health, they gonna turn the phone and show me Keith's junk. So I've now seen Keith's junk. So what you lack for in height, you make up for somewhere else. Mm-hmm. You are college educated. Mm-hmm. You are employed.
Well dressed.
You are incredibly stylish.
Mm-hmm. Look at the shirt.
Man, look at the chains,
Don't
the
play
boots.
with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it.
The boots. We didn't even ask him what we don't know what type of belt he has on. I'm pretty sure it brings the entire ensemble together. I'm pretty sure his belt matches his chains. Anyways, look at the shades. I'm sorry, not the shades, but the glasses.
You feel me? You feel me?
This man got his glasses are more expensive than my entire outfit right now.
You got the buffs on.
But okay, so now on top of that, you have a crib, you have a car, you take care of your family, you have your own businesses that you're involved in.
And Keith, it doesn't matter because I ain't your type anyway. But an ignorant ass bitch like me would be like, nah, he's too short.
So now say this.
And then be with a nigga less than you.
But here's,
Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, which is the crazy part.
I would never say that because I know we're going with that. To piggyback off of that, when I'm dating, I only ever now, especially at this point in my life right now, I only ever date what I get. So I get where you're going with that. But I would never say that somebody is not deserving of talking to me.
There is a 4'8", 220 pound man that walks in here. His teeth are crooked. He has a job, but he's stocking shelves. And respect the people who stock shelves, but you don't stock shelves. You have a complete job that is completely out of that type of world. He doesn't have a car. He lives at home with his mom.
I can't be picking no nigga up.
He is gonna come to you and be like, you know what, man, you just a little too short for me. Keith, you are just a little too short for me.
Okay, so we're getting a very specific situation.
Does this man have the right to speak on anything about you?
No.
So moving on. This goes perfectly into a need for consumers to consume where you are comfortable. Go to the content that you want to go and see. Or not just that. If you want to go and have an interview with somebody, if you want to talk to somebody, if you want to get on, go to somewhere that you can handle. If you want to be treated well and you want to have, your way of life respected, come to Woah Chill Wednesday.
There you go.
Snuck that in there like Suge Knight.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
If you want to go viral and you want to go do something, you have to understand what you're going to get to. If you're going to go to a Kevin Samuels, know what you're getting into. If you're going to go to a No Jumper podcast line, you should probably know that you're going to end up getting some questions that are probably going to make you viral or probably going to prey on your trauma. Yeah. So we move to Blueface and Chrisean.
Blue. First of all, let me just say this, okay?
I gotta block the shade room.
That girl is walking around with a missing front tooth for this man.
On purpose.
He needs to get his act together.
I'm not opposed to the gap. I actually think
that is not a gap. That is a missing fucking tooth.
It doesn't matter. It's still a gap in your mouth, and I think the gap is quite sexy.
No. There's a difference.
College.
A gap.
I love a woman with a gap.
A gap is not by choice.
Didn't Estelle have a gap? You be my
but it also wasn't. The gap wasn't by choice.
Didn't Estelle have a gap?
And the gap needs to be centered.
Keisha Cole.
Chrisean is doing this thing on purpose.
Can the gap be centered?
Get it fixed.
Hey man, my dad got a missing tooth in the
Again,
front
but that's not all-
in the front of his mouth,
Guess what?
and he's a quite handsome gentleman.
And your dad is a grown ass man, and even no matter
He had
how
that gap with my mom. Well, he had a
Listen
fake
to me.
tooth at some point, but he took that
He
shit
had-
out
no,
because he
but this
thought because he a
thing,
real
had a
nigga.
fake tooth at some point.
But he took that shit out because he a real nigga. But even at that point, it wasn't. It was like half. It was like half the tooth was
Okay,
like
but again,
broken, and then at some point he
Chrisean
just
is
took the whole
legitimately
thing out.
doing this
First of all-
because she believes this is a part of her personality.
Dog.
Here I am again being biased to my own gender, but unfortunately, there's things we all know. There are things that men can get away with graciously that a woman dare not touch. A guy could walk around with a missing tooth and he gonna fuck all the hoes regardless.
Not me.
Females, we expect you to carry
Let's-
yourself a little better.
That's one
let's
less
also-
tooth
let's also
that has to scrape my
categorize
dick.
that.
I'm with it.
He's
with
not
it.
smashing me.
But
But
also let's
That's one less
categorize
tooth.
that.
Imagine
a
Chrisean-
cisgender straight man can get away with that. He come over to the Alphabet Mafia.
Nah.
No, that is a hard
I wouldn't be.
pass.
I wouldn't be. Well, I do got straight teeth. So
Come
That
over
is
here
a
too. It should be if your name starts with a SHA, it's a hard pass.
first time I went to a gay rooftop party, they bought me a drink. I felt really nice.
Hell yeah.
Ciroc and soda.
They said hell no.
What does a
we're
Ciroc and soda?
picky.
What does Ciroc and soda say? Is there like a?
That's a typical. Oh God, this is gonna.
Is
sound
that like
awful.
a welcoming, hi, nice, or is this like a? Oh, let me
That's a-
ease
I
my
like
way
it.
to
No,
see
no,
if you with it.
No. It's the general thought. If you are there at a gay event, it's the general thought that this is the drink you will like.
Okay, cool.
It's not none of that. It's just a general thought because that's what again.
Because
I'm not
somebody
trying
tried to pinch my
generalize.
butt, but my phone was in my pocket, and
Well, that happened.
but I didn't know if they were trying to steal my phone or pinch my butt.
It was probably the latter.
But it was only like one like little small like.
It was the latter.
I felt like they was trying to steal my phone though.
No.
Well, I'm gonna keep telling myself they was trying to steal my phone.
Nah, nigga, you got your ass pinched.
Hey man, I got a free drink out of it. While I was getting paid, I was working. So
Listen.
Yo, all I'm gonna say.
I had a good time.
No,
I had
that
a
ass
blast.
though, like the pride events,
Boy,
used
they
to
was
be lit. As
boy. By the time we got to the rooftop, bruh, when we got up the stairs, I was like, "Oh God!" Like the higher it goes, the louder it gets. Well, they was smoking some marijuana in there, but not just some marijuana. They had some fire.
I tell you, listen,
That's
listen.
that
The
Zaza.
gays. I was just at an event, maybe like 2 weeks ago at a rooftop, and there was coke being done in the bathroom.
Oh, that's a regular New York. That's a regular New York party. Whether it's gay or come to the straight parties, it's probably even worse.
Did you know that we could see you?
Bro, this is the first time I've ever seen marijuana smoked out of a crack pipe. Dude had a clear pipe.
Hey yo.
He had a clear pipe, and he had
body different.
his weed grounded up in a thing. It could have been mixed with something. It could have been laced. I don't know. I didn't smoke with him, but I was just watching him because he was in the section right next to us. So he had his weed in like a little capsule. It was already ground up, and he just took the little thing, dabbed it in there a couple times, put his finger on it to, do like the suction thing with all the close the oxygen up, pour the thing up here just like that, light the damn glass pipe,
Sounds
and
like
he
a
was
bomb.
smoking weed.
Sounds similar to a
Smoking weed like out of a crack pipe. But he did it so elegantly. I was like, oh, this is amazing, bro. Like, you ever seen Cruel Intentions? Where Shorty was doing coke out of her necklace? Where it's like that, where nobody's like, yo, like, oh my God, she's a cokehead. It's like, yo, that is so fire that she has a necklace that has like a little scoop and she can just take her coke, you know what I mean, out of the cross. Like, it's amazing.
The gays are innovative.
Bruh.
We've had to hide for so long.
I had a blast.
Y'all
with
are
that.
forced to be reckoned with.
I don't know
Yo.
how we got here, but back to go ahead.
Chrisean.
Wait, I'm sorry, Kai. Did you have something to add?
No, it was good. What was that thing you literally just said, Keith? You said
The gays are innovative.
innovative because you had to hide for so long.
Yes.
I forget what comedian was talking about. He was like, "Yo, now that y'all, it's like, was any part of being gay like was any part of the sneaking around fun? Like, did that make it a little
I feel
more
like it was Dave
exciting?"
Chappelle.
Fun.
Or is it nice to be out in the open and just be able to?
It's way more nice to be out in the open.
Okay.
It was not. Honestly, if I'm being real, it was not fun at all. And like being in the closet, hated it.
Okay.
0 out of 10. Do not recommend.
All right.
Don't do it.
I
Don't.
can respect that, man.
While I will acknowledge that there are people, because I understand that there's privilege in me. As I am a brown skinned black man, gay, under 5'9". I am a plethora of marginalized things. But I do understand that there's privilege in even my existence, and the fact that, like Colin just brought up, I present in the middle of the spectrum. Depending on where you have me at the time, I present a little more masculine on the spectrum. So I have the ability to hide. I have the ability to hide. I have the ability to, if I wanted to, if I needed to protect myself, I could always hide.
Keith will pull your chip.
Listen.
Yeah.
Keith will pull your chip. I've had women ask me about Keith, and I just laugh at them like, yo, go try.
Go ahead, you can try.
Go try.
You could try it if you want to.
Go try.
Listen, Keith, when I hit my phone.
Keith don't got a girl. I don't know, bro. Go try.
You can if you
Go
want
try.
to.
I don't know.
I'll entertain it.
Keith might
Go
have
holler at him. I don't
When
know.
they popped that picture out, Keith, I was like, "Hey, Keith." They was like, I was like, oh, "Okay."
it was over. Yo, Keith don't got a girl. He might have your nigga. That's all I'm saying. You feel me?
Okay, problematic statement. I've done that before. Don't judge me. This was when I was 22 to 25.
Yeah, we know. You
Keith,
post
you
you,
still
you
in
posted
niggas'
every single time you post a picture. Your man's house, your dad's house.
Yeah.
I'm with your father.
Keith is everywhere you don't want him to be.
Oh, you be at people's dad's house too, Keith? Me too.
I do.
You better stop. You better stop. Before you get in trouble.
In the closet.
Okay.
Happy to be out the closet.
Oh, that's just my little funny
Bet.
destination. I always tag my shit like, "Oh, your father's house, your grandfather's house."
No, I've done that. When I was in college, one of my, this might have been the fourth or fifth experience that I had. Not young man. I was 19.
You were the young man.
I was a young man. I was 19. He was about 47 because he said that he had a child my age.
Ooh.
And it's weird at that time. Something about that lit me up. Like, it turned me on. And he was like, "Oh, like."
That's a turn off for me.
It is. That's what I was like. Because if I ever somehow see that man, see the 19-year-old, I'd be like, "I fucked your daddy."
Facts.
I mean, that's kind of
Yes.
fire though. That is kind of fire. Look at me. Yo, tell the camera on yourself, bro.
Ask you a question.
Oh,
What?
man.
Not that it would have to be your particular experience, just from being a part of the community. How high is the ratio of like? Well, does that make them straight technically? But straight dudes
DLs?
that actually show interest
Downloads.
in gay men more than we know.
Downloads.
It is.
It's a lot.
It's not necessarily down low.
That's not down low?
I want to get away from that statement because it's not necessarily down low. Because down low, by definition, means that you are actually gay.
Yeah, active.
You are actively you identify your sexuality identifies as gay, but you are still in the closet.
But you're presenting.
and you are presenting as
hetero.
straight with a family, with that or
Okay.
actively doing things with the opposite sex, with women
Okay.
in your everyday life, but secretly. For some who may let's use the word straight as the umbrella. For someone who presents straight, who may actively, I'll use me as an example.
Or let's say he is actively straight.
I will use
but
me, but
shows
use me as
interest.
an example. Who might show interest, talk to me, try to touch me. It's more than you would think.
Yeah.
So
It's
he's
more than
like
you would think.
bi-carry, like just a little gay.
Well, no, because terminology wise,
Well, sometimes people don't even know yet. Like they don't even have
He
anything
bi-carry, he's just a little.
deciphered
I
that
mean,
in
like,
their mind.
it could be bicurious, it could be pansexual, because
okay.
pansexual by definition is that sexuality or gender doesn't restrict you from who you date. You will date a human. However that human presents sexually, however that human presents by their gender. Pansexual is you will date that human. So it could be that.
Yeah.
It could be bicurious as well. To answer your question, from my personal experience, it has been more than I thought it would. I did not pay for my spring semester of my senior year of Seton Hall
Keith is mine.
because of a man who I thought was straight. But because of our interaction, I know he was on the spectrum of sexuality.
Sugar daddy.
Keith, speak a little bit more
Hey, yo,
on your
a
hot.
free spring semester.
Speak a little bit more on your hot girls, school, and your time with Megan Thee Stallion as your student.
Because she was.
Wait,
she
what?
learned it from me. Megan
You
Thee
don't
Stallion-
hear the finesse, the hot girl finesse here.
Yes.
Keith was the original city girl.
I really was.
Yeah.
I have, and many times, like, many of you don't know this, that, like, our wonderful cameraman, PMC, who's over there right now, Colin, there are many times where I have gotten us bottles, gotten us food.
You didn't give me a bottle on my birthday.
It
All you
wasn't
did was leave early.
All right, let's not go there. Okay. That was a different time.
Not this recent birthday. I was like,
Yeah, my mind moved so slow.
That was almost
I'm
10
sitting
years
here Like,
ago.
what does PMC mean?
Fill it back and play.
the second, not to be confused with the first or the third.
Right. But all I'm saying is that
That's how it was written on his birth certificate. Don't blame me.
I have.
I'm like, all right, we gonna get to this off camera.
We will. We'll figure this out. But I have helped through my college career. I have benefited and I have helped my close friends benefit from me.
You are a king.
I ain't get shit.
Getting it
You are a king.
getting it from individuals.
You are a king.
I ain't get a fruit basket. I ain't get no rainbow socks.
As a female, I can identify
A box
to,
of
living
Lucky
in the
Charms.
glory
I ain't get shit.
of,
But it is a little different. While I acknowledge that is my privilege. I
Oh wait,
understand
so Keith, is
is
that
my
considered
privilege.
hush money?
I wouldn't say it would. Okay, let me backtrack that because I have been given
Respectfully,
I have been given hush money.
because I'll be like, don't be in my DM with a girlfriend unless you come with hush money too. So
Because, here's the thing. I will never break up a happy home, but I will fuck up an apartment
hello,
easily.
hello.
Easily. Because that's not stable. However, I have been hush moneyed. Like, I have been given hush money for,
Allegedly.
allegedly,
I don't know if that's a crime or not.
allegedly for committing certain acts, allegedly. It was worth it.
Well, I mean, that was in the state of New York, right? And we're all good. Prostitution legal.
Keith, I need a poster of you on my wall. My idol. You had me at spring semester.
I mean, at this point, shit. Let's Kai.
Oh boy, here we go.
Take it away.
What we doing now?
You have a question for
Your
Keith?
question for Keith?
Didn't we already touch on it? My question for you was basically like what percentage of
that was the question?
Yeah, basically it was like what percentage of the people that you mess with are like basically still closeted dudes that aren't ready to be
You
seen with
want
another
that?
man.
Okay? So let's
Now
go.
we getting somewhere. How many niggas is in the closet?
So we'll start with college because that's where it really stood out. We'll start with college. There are quite a number of individuals who were a part of certain sports teams.
See. All right, now this is good. All right, so let's go. So let's go.
There were people who were a
Let's
part
go.
of certain fraternities.
Let's go out of, let's say, 20 guys who may be within fraternities, leadership organizations, and sports. We're going to map 20 guys together. What percentage of those guys would you personally say you believe is in the closet?
95.
Damn.
That's a high percentage.
Damn, son, how you find that number? Bika, how many?
Because I
what would
did
you
the
say?
legwork.
How? Damn. Oof. Bika, how much? What percentage would you believe is in the closet?
I was thinking maybe 40, 35%.
Okay.
That's what I was
okay,
thinking.
Kai,
I was
30, 40.
I was thinking somewhere around the 40%.
I was at like 35, like 34, 33, 30. You know what I mean? Somewhere around that.
So you saying most of them want some dick on the side?
Want some or because here's also so let me clarify.
Yo, the craziest part about this question is I am in this daggone category. So now I'm sitting here going down my list of which one of these?
So let's also clarify something really quick. It's not necessarily that they themselves, and I know how this is about to sound, but follow me. I know how this is about to sound, but follow me.
I'm walking with you.
Not that necessarily they themselves want to get dick down. However, they are horny, and because of whatever's going on in their personal lives, the best way to put it is, in their head, a hole is a hole. In their head. That is the best way to put it. That is the best way to put it, is that a hole is a hole and a mouth is a mouth.
Boy,
So
this
if
is
they'll-
lock up. Well, we done stepped out of Woah Chill Wednesday and went into locked up abroad.
It is technically.
They will, if they need it,
60 days locked in.
they'll take it. And if you may be the person there offering it, and you are okay, and you make them feel comfortable with knowing that, so I'm speaking for myself, that I'll be quiet, no one will ever find out.
So a win is a win.
I feel like that's a big part of
Win
it.
is a
Right?
win.
It's a win.
Yeah, I feel like that's got to be a big
No, it
part of
ain't.
it too, because they can't be out here just fucking with anybody. You got to be over here like, listen, it's between us.
That's it.
I will say this though, an instant red flag for me of like a guy potentially having some type of closeted situation in his mind, at least even if he hasn't explored it, is being like, one, homophobic, or being
Yes.
extremely uncomfortable
Around.
around other gay people.
Right,
Like,
yes.
see how you guys chilling and this is literally your friend? That makes it clear to me that y'all are, you're
Well,
comfortable
this is
with your
Keith. This is
sexuality.
Keith, like
No,
G-rated
but that's what I'm
Keith.
saying,
This is
though.
very
But you
much
get what I'm saying?
watered
No,
down
right?
Keith.
When nigga
So
like,
we've seen.
Don't bring that nigga about me. Like, that's a red flag, because why are you so worked
Well,
up? Because it's a threat that whatever it is could be exposed for them.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
trying to
That's
dis-
an
There's
instant red flag for
there's yes and no. I think it's also depending on where you're from and where you grew up. You know, there's some people who are where I'm from who may have beef with all gay people, because we literally have a large, or at least had at one point, a large gang, a literal gang. And when I say gang, I'm not sitting here talking about, I know this is going to be a punchline to some of y'all people, but y'all can go on CNN. They did a whole profile on these dudes. You can sit here and
gang?
yeah. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go and put all of their information out there. If you want to go, check it. Go check it. How about that? If you get it, you get it.
But they exist.
But these dudes are, but these dudes is real,
Y'all out here
and
heavy
they're
as
very
gold.
quick. They'll be very quick to switch up on you if you trying to play with them, and they'll very much switch that voice and oh ha 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 da, 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 and be like, hey cud. They will, but they'll literally switch on you for real, like, hey cud, like what's up, what's up for real, to remind you, like.
Two things are true at the same time. What you said and what Colin said. Those two things are true at the very same time. Yeah. Where yes, because I personally will be the one who will. I could be the exposer. I could be. So I have experienced individuals who have been in the room with me, who are like, whether it be challenged, feel threatened, whatever you want to say, I will get treated differently if I'm in the room with certain individuals because of what you said. Mm-hmm. I also know, because I've been around them niggas. Sorry, you can cut that out.
Nah,
I've been around them.
It's niggas that's ignorant.
Who, it is legitimately like, it is the best way to put it is a gang. It is a gang.
Listen.
There are some people who culturally just don't like gay people. They might not be gay themselves, but culturally they don't like them. Or some people that have,
there's two
some
types
people
of
that
people.
because of religion, they take it. There's some people because of religion they don't accept the gay lifestyle, but then there are other people who hate the gay lifestyle because of their religion.
Yeah, I always say there's two types of people that you don't fuck with in a pack: gay people and Haitians.
That's very true.
And Haitians is the number.
And
Haitians and a lot of Haitians don't like gays.
A whole bunch come out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. Mm-hmm. Play with me if you want to. I'll have 8 Honda vans on the way up here immediately.
I was just watching a damn video about how like Haiti doesn't have government right now.
Not really, no.
And the Haitians is just running that shit. I'm like, bruh.
It's complicated, but no,
a stat like Establish is the wrong word. Establish is the wrong word.
Our president was assassinated.
Yeah, it was
But
assassinated.
it's not a government where if somebody would have murdered somebody,
Yeah.
it would be wild to try to determine if
there's still
guilty.
a leadership structure, but there's no definite.
Right. There is an umbrella. There's an umbrella of what leadership is. There isn't anything really under that to determine what leadership is right now.
And of course, massive corruption, but that's neither here nor there. All right.
Yeah. I've literally seen like real gangs. Like one person would get into a fight when I was in school, get into a fight with like one of the Haitians, and you think like, all right, yeah, it's sweet. We would walk outside of school. The whole front of the school will be filled with Haitians, bro. With baseball bats, broomsticks.
To somebody like me, it's a little bit, it's messed up, but it's also a beautiful thing because my mom came here when she was about 6, 7, 8, like she was young when my mom came here. And she grew up getting jumped every day after school just because she was an immigrant. And they would call her a stinging African because in D.C. in like the 60s and 70s, you were either Jamaican or African. And nobody really knew what Haitian was. Yeah. We didn't have a huge Haitian community. And even if we did have a huge Haitian community, everybody's, you're in separate spaces. Everybody's not all in one space. Like certain communities, when they come over to the United States, they all stick together and they are all able to build their own community. So to hear that, actually, I know it's messed up, but that gives me comfort because I'm like, all right, the Haitian kids, because the Haitian community in New Jersey is a lot different from where I come from. The togetherness is there, and it's the strength and the unity is there, and that's not something I'm used to seeing. Because I come from a place where some people are united and other people are broken up. And I'm definitely a part of the part that's broken up and kind of independent.
Which one was interesting is that what I blessingly have, again, as a privilege, is in school, as you said, like 3 of them here are my friends. There have only been small instances in my life where I've ever felt outcasted or like an outsider. Like I never had it like that, as if I never had a group. I may have always been maybe the only gay in the group, but I never was necessarily purposely made to feel like an outsider.
Even that's debatable. Sorry, continue.
Why would you do that to me?
You know what's crazy though? Because remember when we did the live show, and another one of our mutual friends was like, "Yeah, I know a little something over there." So it's like, listen.
I've never made to feel lonely.
Oh, I tried to hook both of them up. It didn't work.
No.
There we go. So
that wasn't gonna work at all.
Because here's the thing.
Nope, you're not. Nope. That's a friend. Next topic.
No, I'm not gonna say anything about him. I'm just gonna say because here's the thing. Speaking of because circle back to the conversation we were just having because it deals with preference.
That was my. Go ahead. I'll let you talk first. Go ahead.
I have a While I believe that societally preference can be a bit racist.
Bruh, what do you like, Keith?
Hey, listen, just let me go for a second.
Keith
While I
likes
do believe
skits.
it can be a little bit racist, a little bit fatphobic, a little femphobic, I understand that, again, 2 things can be true at the same time. While it can be that one thing, again, femphobic, fatphobic, racist, or whatever, I also know that I have a preference. Specifically because of, I was born and raised in Newark. There is a certain level of masculinity that I enjoy.
You need a hood, nigga.
Okay. You know what? I was trying to avoid that. I was trying to avoid that. But yeah, I need you to,
Listen, Keith, you preaching to the choir right now, okay? Not that I like hood dudes, but I like dudes to just
a little
shut up.
rough
I like
around
quiet
the edges.
guys,
Well, yeah.
but not quiet like nerdy quiet. Quiet like we don't know if he just quiet or if he got a gun in his backpack.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the one.
Yes.
Yep.
That is it.
Maybe nothing is in there but his basketball.
But we will never know. Like if something pop off, you might slice somebody. But that, and it's not our fault. You want to know why it's not our fault? Because we are products of the men we were raised around.
Actually, yeah, no. My dad is, in fact, will kill somebody.
My
with the quickness,
father too.
But my dad actually a pretty nigga.
Here's the thing about my father. My father is a quiet thug who, because I remember distinctively. There's one story that I will always remember that my grandmother, may she rest in peace, would always tell me about my father. And that is that when my mother and father first got together, they had me 2 years before they got married. I was 2.5 years old at their wedding. So I was maybe like 16 months old. His father, who he does not have a relationship with, and his father has passed at this point, had come around trying to meet me, meet his grandson for the first time. Mm-hmm. My grandmother allowed it to happen because she wanted her son's father to meet his grandson. Okay. Something happened because I was just sitting there like eating a bunch of like pudding cups. He said, "Oh, why do you let him?" Like my grandfather said to my father, "Oh, why you let him like eat all that? Like that's a bunch of junk food. Why he not eating real food?" Da 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 da. I guess it just triggered my father. That man grabbed his own father by his neck and his head and lifted him up. My father is 5'10". His father was by 6 foot, a little bit above. Grabbed him and had him like this on a wall.
Whew.
Like the Undertaker.
And it took my mother, my grandmother, his brother-in-law, his older sister's husband, 2 of our cousins to get my father off of his father. So seeing that and being raised around that, because my father would only do shit like that, like at certain points, that's kind of sexy to me if a man is kind of quiet, but I know
I will never, ever, ever tell you how to live your life ever again after hearing that story, nigga, because that means that shit is passed down to you somewhere. That shit is in you somewhere. That's where that scene when Theo was smacking stuff off of the damn shelf, that's where that energy came from right there.
Oh, God.
You stupid, yo. Hey, what time is it?
About 4.
Jesus. All right, guys. I think this is a good place for us to wind it down at this point for the rest of the day. Anybody have any pressing topics that we need to get to?
Kai, your hair is great.
Thank you.
Nobody says that to Kai except for me.
Oh, what we didn't?
Bang, bang, bang.
The dark skin society, as they are now called, that is the British version of the dark skinned disciples, as we know them.
Not the dark skinned disciples.
Listen, the dark skinned disciples is
We out here.
That's been established since 2013. You gotta understand that we've been out here. But, you got these new kids coming around the block, these British kids, Damson, Idris, what's my guy from Get Out?
Ooh, wait.
Daniel Kaluuya.
Rewind. We missed something.
What happened?
Damson and Lord?
This is where I'm going with this.
Oh, okay, okay.
They have the dark skin society, so that's just, those like the little bros from across the pond, you feel me?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So... we up. It's up. Enter bomb drop here.
Bang.
Go ahead, Kyle. That's what you give me this week. Last week you gave me the most clean, pure sound effects I've ever had.
Cedric was like, pew.
He said bang.
Bang. Bomb drop. Insert here.
Funk flex bomb. My bad. Clue bomb.
Hey, man.
I'm not. I'm no longer tied to a fucking side of affiliation.
All I'm gonna say is,
Lori. What did Party say? Y'all let that girl fuck anybody.
Why did Meek get killed for what?
I mean, that was strategic timing for that tweet. But okay.
Meek got slaughtered for tweeting Party's lyrics, and that song is great. That song is amazing. That is the song that we started this podcast with.
At 26 years old, Lori Harvey is doing exactly what, because here's, and again, this is the thing. It's because she is a woman, but Lori Harvey was doing the exact same thing I was doing to niggas at 26 years old.
No,
nah, you wasn't. You
not,
wasn't, because we recording that Mike crib, not.
My problem is not her dating, and my problem is not her time frame of which she chooses to move on.
You're not at Sam Smith crib right now.
My thing is that, okay, we're at the point where like y'all. So her and Michael broke up not that long ago. You and this young man is already.
That was a while ago.
Y'all already Instagram public like close already.
So
That is
how do we know that
you
first of all, how do you know that? How do you know that any of these couples were real?
Like, I don't have a problem with what she's doing.
Right.
When I say this in reference to her well-being. Like,
you realize
give
who her
yourself
mother
some time.
is? First of all, do y'all know who her father is?
Steve.
No,
'Cause
Steve
again-
is not her father.
Well, I know her
The
real
drug
father's
dealer.
locked up, right?
That's
drug dealer.
her. So her mom had 2 drug kingpins,
Yeah.
and then Steve Harvey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
What more do we need to talk about?
It's in the blood. Hey.
Marjorie, you did a fantastic job. You're doing great.
But again, I do
Y'all
believe
talk
that
about, bro,
I
they
do
up.
believe that might be a personal timeline for being
That's true.
public with somebody.
That's true. Because leave it to me.
Maybe Lori's timeline is she's okay with just showing
Hey,
off
man.
when and how she wants to.
It's casual,
I ain't
but
even
it's
mad at
casual. How do we
Lori.
know these are actual relationships? How do we know that this isn't number one smoke and mirrors like we
I
talked
ain't gonna
about
lie to
last
you.
episode, or this isn't just casual dating? We can't tell because we don't actually see what they're doing.
I'm not mad at Lori. But Damson is dead wrong.
What did he do?
He's too happy.
No. Here's my thing. And we know just
Great
because you see
timing.
2 people in a picture together does not mean they're best friends or anything like that. I'm not saying he owes Michael anything. But if you've been around me and my significant other, and then you're dating them a couple months after we break up,
No.
I think
No.
it's different when you are in the entertainment industry. I think it's a lot different.
they may not have a
It's a
relationship at all.
lot different because now we are forced
I
to
don't
be
think
in the
entertainment
same
industry
spaces.
has anything to do with it. Here's the thing. And this may just be a Keith thing. There has to be clear definition of what you two were for me to respect what it is.
Bingo.
And that is it.
If that was
I
Mac
need to
Wilds,
know-
cool.
If I need to know, no, you need to have told me that Michael needs to have tell Damson that this is my girlfriend.
I think that was clear.
Even if it is,
No.
bro.
See, that's the thing, and that is my biggest problem when it comes to dating. Ain't shit clear unless the words are said. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it feels like. Unless the words are said, it is not clear.
Because here's the thing, they pass around the same bops
and-
all the time.
And if Michael and Damson and Idris were in an actual close relationship, Damson doesn't owe Michael shit. I don't care how often I was around y'all two together.
You know, I live by a strict code.
I don't
so.
care how long y'all were around each other. I don't owe you shit. It's like,
Michael B.
if
Jordan,
we met-
he not dark skinned society. He whatever little West Coast. Mike, you are part of the light skinned militia. What is y'all West
Not the
Coast
light-skinned
affiliate?
militia.
So he's a brown skinned bastard.
Michael's brown skin.
Let me stop disrespecting Mike from North. He from North. Let me
North
put some
New
respect
Jersey,
on him.
okay?
But for me, level
Respect.
of relationship is what determines how this works out, and even that, it does also depend on how long y'all were together, or what y'all would, or the seriousness of what y'all were doing. If I was talking to you, if I was just talking to you,
If
and
I
we were
don't
just
really
talking-
know you,
right? That's my thing. If we were just talking, even I'm not gonna hold you. Even if we fucked once, and my boy, one of my good friends, Seth, and my boy started talking to the guy too, I can't be mad at Seth because
Right.
all we did was we talked a little bit
Let me
and
tell
we
you
just
something.
fucked one time.
And I get it. Nobody else is thinking this way, but I am very big on principle and code. And like, it's way too many niggas in this world for me to choose a nigga that I saw with a girl I know.
okay. So get
It's
this.
just
So
too-
all right, hey, Bika, get this right. You go back to college.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the same small ass campus. You went to a small school. We went to a small school.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that many black people around. Some girl that you know of,
Everybody was fucking everybody.
some girl that you know of starts dating somebody. It's brief, it's cool, it's quick. It was cute while it lasted. Now they're done. 3 months later, dude is putting pressure on you. You're not gonna accept that. and if you like the dude, you're not gonna accept that.
But that's the thing,
because
like,
you know of Shorty, you know who she is. Y'all in the same.
The only reason you know her,
y'all in the same pond.
The only reason you know her is that you met her once at a university center party, and you saw her that one time.
I'm saying again,
we might have had one class together, but you're not my man.
What's right and what's wrong. I can only speak for Shabika. What I'm saying is, once I categorize people in my mind. Once I close that door on you, it's closed. If
you the damn producer.
Once I close that door on you, like it's closed.
No, but honestly, I'm asking. You met the girl one time at one campus party, and you saw her with the man. And
that's different.
I was about to say, and you knew the man was just there, just fucking her, and he come to you. You're not gonna do anything because you saw her once at that one party.
And not for nothing.
No.
Let's put this into perspective. Lori Harvey don't pop out with a dude unless he top tier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, damn, fam. Respect. I'm top tier. You top tier. She only popping out if you top tier. Now you got Meek bum ass on the side talking about y'all let that girl hit anybody. And what was Meek's comments filled with? Everybody but you.
Listen.
It hit different. It hit different. But listen, when you get to that point where you knocking off a certain category that certain people can't mess with.
Listen, I'm just not that girl. Like for me personally, I don't even look people niggas in the eyes. Like it's too much dick out here. I'm sorry.
Well,
listen.
I want my own.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Go ahead, finish off, Keith.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Nobody's. All right, don't worry about it.
Keith said, "I'm gonna tell you right now."
I'm gonna fuck him.
I'm gonna eat it.
So he did.
Hey yo.
Is that what you're ending on? Because I'm doing this is my way of getting everybody's last. It's like that's what you want to end on, Kai.
Nah, I want to end on. I think I'm blocking the shade room for the next 9 months. I'm not ready for all this shit here. There's too much going on.
Chrisean and Blueface are consistent, great TV. I can't wait for them to go on Dr. Phil. I'm anxiously waiting at the edge of my seat to find out who the father is, and if we're gonna find out, Blue, you are the father. And then at that point, you know what I'm saying, Rock's father is gonna hop up on the stage and he's gonna square up with Blue again.
It's crazy how being with somebody can make you ugly.
Yo, I swear to God, I'm not.
She's not ugly, but
but it can make you.
Chrisean was a dime. You seen track running Chrisean back in the day?
She was tough.
Dime.
She was tough.
I'm not.
She's also from Baltimore, and she had a time where she was in foster care, and she has a story. Mm-hmm. One of these days we'll get to the story, but today we just wanted to laugh and crack a couple of jokes. Stop going to fucking no jumper if you think you're gonna get a fair shot. If you're going to no jumper and if you're going to no jumper, we already know what's gonna happen. Whatever's the most traumatic, messy part of your lifestyle is what they are going to focus on. So if that's what you want to go there and promote, that's perfectly fine. Content is content, and as you can see, somebody like me is going to watch it and enjoy it.
Somebody said everything I've learned about this couple has been against my will, and I felt that.
It has been until moments like this. When I see stuff get real, now I actually want to sit here and see. And everybody played a role in it. Some people are saying that she was gaslighted, because she did say she was being gaslighted. Somebody like me might also say, well, you ran right into that wall. And when they were attempting to give you a chance to speak your piece, you didn't want to speak your piece. And then at the end, when they started piling and beating your ass up because you didn't want to speak and you were being an asshole, then they started to gaslight you, and now you want to speak. Well, they gave you the chance to speak and you didn't want to speak.
Women internally have this thing where they don't necessarily feel comfortable enough to do things like that.
Then don't go to the fucking interview.
You're saying that as a straight male who has the privilege of being able
Don't go to the interview.
She also may not have that ability to say no to doing that either. You believe that
don't sign that contract.
Again, you believe that she has that ability to just say no.
And if I'm wrong, I apologize.
You believe it's that messed up, has that ability to
it's
say
messed
no,
up that certain that people get into this. But when I look at Chrisean's past and I look at her resume and I see, okay, you've kind of been under somewhat of your own guidance, and your own guidance, or at least your dealings with other people, have led you into trying different aspects of this type of shit. Not all of it has been negative. You've jumped out and you've attempted to be an actress, to be an artist, or to be a personality, and not all of it has been negative stuff. So you tried to give this a good try. That tells me that you're purposely leaning into this right now, and this shit is somewhat calculated from your brain as well.
I'm gonna be real with you. That doesn't tell me that. That tells me that at certain points, somebody on her team said, do this, try this. What it tells me now is that somebody else on her team, or somebody that she had been talking to, said, do these other things.
You think Chrisean has a team?
No, I'm about to say, I don't think she's being
I don't even think she has a
team is the wrong word. Chrisean, but I do believe Chrisean has people around her.
Yeah.
That are telling her to do X, Y, and Z.
There we go.
For those people's benefits. And again, Chrisean was doing this as a young impressionable girl. Mm-hmm. Not saying that doesn't mean she's not intelligent. Not saying that does not mean that she's not smart. But I will always give grace to black women in this industry, because I think there's a plot, personally, to tell black women that they have to be a certain way in order to make it successful.
I get that. However, if you are gonna jump out and say this was a gaslighting, this was such and such and such and such, there are ways for you. Did any of you guys watch the interview?
I haven't seen it.
Okay, so this is an interview with Sharp. A part of me loves Sharp, and there's a part of me that hates Sharp. Sharp is incredibly entertaining. Sharp is known to be a gaslighter. Sharp is known to push people's buttons. Sharp is known to be a shark of some sort. And if he brings you onto his podcast, there's a good chance that he already has an angle that he's going to push.
Basically.
There's another woman alongside Sharp. I don't know if that's his woman, if that's his wife, anything. I don't know. There's a woman alongside of him who's also asking questions. She was attempting to really get solid answers out of Chrisean. She was attempting, through the madness that Blueface was more so pushing buttons and orchestrating. There was a woman on the side attempting to steer Chrisean's answers into a more appropriate answer. The way you respond to whatever happens to you, that is your choice. And she consistently chooses to be destructive. And that is my issue with her. And I get what you're saying. However, when you see somebody sit in a if you watch the interview, you'll get my point. When you see somebody sitting in this one specific seat, and you have a chance here to now let your voice sound and let your shit sound off, she could have steered her conversation in a different manner. And the conversation itself and the lesson that was being given to her from Sharp was, yeah, you might, X might have happened. Blue might have did something to you, but you chose to react in this manner.
I think that is where I think that it can be problematic is saying that what Blue, like you said, the interviewer said Blue did this to you, but you chose to react in this matter. What I think is problematic is discounting the trauma that Blue did to make that.
Well, who discounts that? We've been calling Blue a piece of shit for the last since Bust Down Tatiana,
right?
And people started to see who Blue was as a person,
right?
People have been calling Blue a piece of, how much more do we need to call Blue a piece of shit?
We don't need to call him a piece of shit anymore. But the deep and the hit. Let me give you an explanation of how deep trauma can go, and I'll use me as a personal example.
Come on, Keith, you got rap. We got rap.
Real quick.
Let's do it quick.
Real quick. How deep trauma can go is me as a gay man who is a feminist, forward thinking, and all that, and all that. Do you know I still believe that depending on another man like me, another man's, depending on how feminine or masculine that is, that will determine how I date them? That is so, masculinity is so dug into my mind that depending on how feminine or masculine you are determines still to this day as an educated black man, that still determines how I date you.
Damn.
That is so deep that whatever Blueface did to Chrisean, or however even her upbringing is, could be so deep that no matter how much movement the woman on that podcast was trying to give her, it is so deep that she was going to respond that way either way.
I get where you're coming from, but I think you need to watch the interactions to get a point from where I'm coming from. Because when you see somebody who's erratic, if she were to only act one particular way with Blue, then I agree with you. But she doesn't. She's either on one extreme or the other. The conversation that they were trying to get out of her was, why did you throw a glass at his head?
Damn.
She's saying, well, yo, who said he was the first person or I was the first person to hit anybody that day?
But was she?
I don't know.
But that
was her point.
Because
but that's my
I don't
thing.
I don't know, because they kept asking her and she did not answer.
I mean,
But then she feel, but then the comfortability
that's 50-50
and that.
though.
Then
Right.
don't do the interview.
That's
Yeah.
but my
And
thing
when
was-
Blue gave her the chance to get up and leave, she should have got up and left.
I agree with that part.
Blue said, yo, you then get, and then Blue himself tried to remove himself, and he got up and he was like, all right, I'm going to get up and I'm going to leave.
But I think grooming is so deep in certain things where I've seen it happen where, because and not to get too personal into my family, and I know we got to wrap up, not to get too personal in my family's business. I've seen grooming happen to the point where the male in the situation was like, well, you can get up and go. But because of what she had been through, she was so frightened that even though he kept saying the words, you can get up and go, she knew she couldn't. Because what was
but
happening
now in that
at
situation,
home,
if he were to get up and say, you know what, yo, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go. What do you think is most likely? What do you think most likely would have been her response?
again, I personally, Keith personally doesn't go by what might most likely would happen. I look at, personally, what could be her trauma that she doesn't react the way you think she should in that situation. I look at what possibly could be the trauma that she had gone through behind the scenes that we don't see.
I can sympathize with that only to an extent. When I start to see somebody who's destructive, I have to call you a destructive human being. And I watched that girl destroy Kai Cenat's basement. We've seen this girl chugging Hennessy like nobody's fucking business. Seen this girl openly just kind of wilding even on her own. I can only believe what you are putting in front of me. Yes, I believe there's something there that is probably some masculine influence that's causing her to act this way. But I think she herself is a destructive human being. And I come from a family where some people, I just gotta love you from a distance, bro. You might be a really dope person. You might have had some serious trauma that happened to you. You might have got some really negative cards stacked against you in this life. But at some point, bro, I can't be around you because me being around you is just gonna cause more pain and destruction to me. Yep. And I personally end my segment on that.
And that's the only thing I will say about trauma is, like, yes, I definitely agree. Like, you know, everybody come with their own baggage. Everybody going to go through it, how they going to go through it. Everybody going to react to situations how they were groomed to react. But like I always say, there's a certain point where it's like, kind of like I said last week, it goes back to, you can't just be like, well, that's me, that's how I was raised. At a certain point, you got to understand how you do your steps in the tango. You know what I mean? Because it always takes two people to tango. You got to start with, okay, this happened to me, and I did X, Y, Z because I thought this was cool at the time. But now that I'm growing and I see that my behavior is destructive and it's not getting me the results that I want, I got to see what I can do personally to fix that. And that's just all I got. I'm not saying,
but that don't sell as much on Zeus Network.
Nope.
Shout out to Zeus Network putting out all the content you didn't want to see, but you're going to see anyway via the Shade Room. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been Woah Chill Wednesday. I'd like to give a wonderful, wonderful, huge thank you to Mr. Keith Washington for coming by yet again, but this time in person with us. So thank you, sir. Did you have a good time?
Keith,
Did you enjoy
oh my
yourself?
God, watch
I had a great time.
He be doing too much.
That's
All the
you.
time.
That's you.
He get my drop today because Keith is just as wild as I am sometimes, you know.
Yes, indeed.
Shout out to Moriel. If you're wondering why Keith is in Moriel's seat,
Bing
we are
bong.
recording on Moriel's. Thank you. We are recording on Moriel's birthday. Happy birthday to you, bestie. We love you. While we miss you, we gonna turn up with you and we gonna have a great freaking time and celebrate you and your birthday.
All right.
Anybody? Anything else, Bika? You
Nope.
ready to go?
Let us all.
Ready to go.
Happy
Kai?
birthday to Big Maury.
Balsamic vinegar.
Happy birthday, Maria.
Shout out to Red 19 Films.
PMC.
And we got we'll have some stuff ready for you next episode. We'll let you guys know what we're doing for the Woah Chill Wednesday 2-year anniversary, and a 1-year anniversary of our live show. So we'll see. We got to do another live show soon. So we'll let y'all know what's going on with that.
Until
All right.
then,
Chill, bitch.
chill.
Chill, bitch.
Woah Chill Wednesday.